Hi, this is Mr. Roach. We're back here. We're working with our number guess game, and we're trying to get the button to work. So what we really want to have happen is push this, and if I put a number in here, it'll tell you whether you're higher or lower. It'll give some message up here, okay? And what's going on is that our program needs to kind of, get in touch with like the operating system, because when I push, basically, I'm pushing with my mouse or my mouse pad. And my mouse pad's sort of picking up that click, and I need to get that. I need to get sort of woken up, okay? And that's called an event. So I need to set up something with my program to get me in touch with, the operating system, basically, or the Java virtual machine, and kind of pick up those clicks and do something with them, okay? So Java has a way of doing this called an interface. So what we're going to do is we're going to let me take that out. We're going to add a thing called an action listener. And the way you do that is you type this magical language up on top of your class, and you say implements action listener. Okay, and that's exciting. Okay, so what we're saying is that we're sort of a special class, that we like a child of a J panel, and we're going to have this kind of like interface. We're going to guarantee that we're going to be ready for action listening, okay? And here's how you do this, okay? So what happens is we get this error, okay? So the action listener can't be resolved to a type. So that's an organized import issue. So I'm going to go like this and organize the imports. Do that right? Let's see if we can do it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, and so what I get is I get the import action listener, which is up here, okay? And that's great. But I still have an error. And what it says is that the number guess player must implement the inherited abstract method action listener. And what it says is that my number guess player must have this method in it, okay, called action listener action performed. Okay, so I have to have this, okay, and it was set up when they defined like the action listener, and that's the inherited abstract thing. So I need to do this, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to like write my own so that mine gets used, okay? So I'm going to click on this error thing here, and see how it says add unimplemented methods. Okay, this tries to resolve your problems for you, which is great about Eclipse. So I don't want to make abstract player abstract. I don't know, don't want to get into that. Don't want to rename files. Don't want to do this. But I'm going to click on this. So I'm going to double click on it. And look at that, the error goes away, which is good. And what you get at the bottom of your code here is this extra method now. See, it's public void action performed action event. And it's going to, and it's one of my methods, so I'll put it in my methods section. That's great. It's going to override the action performed one of the action listener, which is all okay with us. And what it's going to do is it's going to do something. It's going to send us like an event, okay, when you click, okay, which is great. Okay, so I have this, I have a label up here, M label, this, and we can set the label like when this gets happen, which is sort of what we want to do. So I'm going to test this out by going like this. Label, set text, and I'm going to say something like, hey, the button works, okay, which would be great, okay. And so if that happens, then everything will be great. What have I done wrong here? Oh, I have to add an extra quote, thanks, okay. Thanks, Eclipse. Okay, and then things look pretty good, okay. So that's what I got right now. If I run it, it still won't work, so I have to do one more thing, but we'll check it. So what I wanted to do is I want this to show up when I push the button, and it's sort of not doing it still. So okay, but what I can do though is I want to put this. I want to add the listening capability to my button. Okay, and I have somebody ready to listen, which is the panel. Okay, and this is one way of doing this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a line here to the game button. I'm going to say game button. Is add action listener right there. Okay. Now what I had to do with it here, I'll look at this again. Under the interface, I have to give it somebody who's an action listener. But who's an action listener? we are an action listener. The number guest player is an action listener. So inside number guest player, all I have to do is say this. And then there's no error. Everything's great. The game button is ready for action. And let's test it out. So I go like this, save it, run it, okay, and ready, boom. Hey, look at that, and it works. The button works. Okay, and that's great. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to have to do after that is be able to put in numbers, you know, when you do this, and then have it check you against the number. But that's another story. So that's it. Okay, and you know, let's get the code to be, you know, up to that level.